Hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're all doing well. I'm fine myself. Today we're reviewing the 2020 Toyota Land Cruiser 200 series, and this is the top level VXR, or as many people also call it, the full option model. Once again, I am at Toyota RWANDA making this video, and shout out to them for making it possible. Don't hesitate to check out their range of cars through the link in the description. And back to our video, the Toyota Land Cruiser 200 series is the flagship SUV from the manufacturer Toyota. Make sure to watch till the end because I'll be going through every option and features available in this Land Cruiser 200 series. Also check out other great Toyota reviews I've made so far and subscribe for more car reviews. Here is the car's key fob with the lock and lock panic buttons. This car is also equipped with smart key access. Press the button on the door handle to lock the car and grab the door handle to unlock the car. This car being the top of the line VXR or full option, the interior is as nice as they get, with leather seating and leather stitching throughout. First off, we have a 3-person memory seating, which is a feature that lets you set your preferred seating and steering wheel position, which is particularly useful if the car is driven by different people. We also have power window controls and power door locks, and all windows in this car are automatic. We also have illuminated Land Cruiser door seals. On the left side of the steering wheel we have different controls that we'll get back to later in the video. Just as you may expect in this kind of vehicle, the seats are power operated, both front passenger seats and the driver's seat also has lumbar support. This car is also equipped with the push to start feature. As I turn on the accessories, the steering wheel moves back to the previous set position. The navigation screen also turns on as usual, and we'll dive deep into the navigation screen in just a minute. As I press the engine start button again, the ignition will turn on, and to start the vehicle, put your foot on the brake and hit the engine start button. Let me turn on the headlights as well as the fog lights, front and rear, and the hazard lights, and take a quick look around the vehicle, and we'll be back and dive deep into the infotainment screen of the car. As I exit the car with the key fob, the car will beep 3 times to let me know that it has lost proximity to the key. There are LED turn signals integrated in both side mirrors, and up front we have halogen turn signals, though the headlights, fog lights as well as daytime running lights are LED. And as we move to the rear part of the vehicle, we have LED tail lights, and the turn signals and reverse lights are halogen bulbs as well. As we move back to the interior of the car, let's take a better look at the infotainment screen. On the home page we have audio, navigation and fuel consumption information, and audio sources in this car are AM, FM, USB, auxiliary and Bluetooth. There are audio settings where you can adjust the sound output quality as well as other audio settings you can configure to suit your needs. As I just mentioned, in this car we have various audio sources that include AM, FM, CD, USB, Bluetooth, auxiliary, as well as AV. There is also an HDMI port in the second row seats. The Navigation in this car is currently unavailable, and we go on to the Information tab where we have fuel consumption. You can see that this car averages 11 liters per 100 kilometers. Under the Setup tab, we have various settings like general settings, where we have clock, language, beep, customization, and units of measurement, as well as software update. The voice recognition software is also adjustable with the appropriate SD card inserted. We have Bluetooth settings. We also have Wi-Fi settings, and you can connect this card to Wi-Fi to update the software. On to the second page, we have more settings like vehicle settings, where you can set up maintenance reminders, as well as vehicle customization, where you customize the lights, climate, and the locks. Last but not least, we have display settings, where you can turn off the display altogether, or you can adjust the brightness and contrast. Below the infotainment screen, we have your digital clock as well as outside temperature readout. The climate control in this car is automatic. It's also worth mentioning that we have 4 climate zones in this car. To adjust the fan speed, you need to press that key and the climate controls will show up in the infotainment screen. You can also change air direction. From the options tab, you can turn on or off the AC, and you can also adjust the climate controls for the second row seat occupants. Other climate control buttons will have auto climate control activation. You can also turn the climate control off. We also have air recirculation and the key to bring up the climate controls in the infotainment screen. Below the climate controls, we have the volume knob on the left. You can also turn on or off the audio with that knob, and on the right we have the tune knob, and between those two knobs we have the slot where the map SD card will be inserted. There is a wireless charging station behind that brushed aluminum panel. Below that we have controls for the cooled and heated seats. Both front seats are cooled and heated. To the right side of the cooled and heated seat controls, we have a small plastic cover that houses the auxiliary and USB ports. All that aside, we have the gear lever, and the transmission in this car is a 6-speed automatic transmission with manual shiftability, or sport mode as they call it. Shifting to reverse and the backup camera will show up in the infotainment screen. We also have a 360-degree view around the car, made possible by 4 cameras, a backup camera, a front view camera, and 2 cameras on each side mirrors. To the right side of the gear lever, we have the off-road controls, and the first one is the 4-wheel drive selector knob that enables you to switch between 4 high and 4 low. You also have the key to raise or lower the suspension of the vehicle. The following key disables the ability to lower or raise the suspension. After that, we have the turn assist key, and turn assist helps you make tight turns if you're off-road. We also have a hill descent and ascent on or off. And below that we have the cruise control knob, which is basically like the cruise control for off-road use. To the far left we have keys that lets you change the driving dynamics of the vehicle between comfort and eco or normal, as well as sport and sport plus. There's also a traction control off button and a key to lock the center differential. You can also activate the electronically controlled transmission in this car. And also when needed, you can set the car to start in second gear instead of the first gear. We have a manual parking brake in this car. To the right of the parking brake, we have two cup holders that can be covered by this nice brushed aluminum panel. Behind the cup holders, we have a two-tier storage area. And the second tier of the storage area is actually a cool box where you can put things like drinks and keep them cool for a while the climate control in the car is turned on. Moving on to the steering wheel controls, on the left we have volume controls as well as mode switch that allows you to cycle through different audio sources in the car. We also have a voice command button, and on the lower side we have Bluetooth hands-free controls. To the right side of the steering wheel we have the keys to control the multi-information display, and the first one is the menu button. In the multi-information display we have different tabs. First off is the information tab. Next we have a car diagram, and after that we have the navigation. The audio tab is next, where you can change your different channels, radio stations, and after that we have alerts, and last but not least we have settings, where you can change meter settings like language and units of measurement. From the meter settings we can also turn on the eco driving in this car. That helps you save a bit more fuel down the road. And after the settings menu we'll go back to the information tab. To the left side of the steering wheel we also have a headlight control stalk as usual, and on the other side we have a windscreen wiper control stalk, and behind that you can see a view button, and that lets you bring up the front view camera as well as the 360-degree cameras. And like I mentioned before, the 360 view is made possible by 4 cameras. There's the reverse camera, a front camera, and a camera on each side mirror, and they are all put together to make a top-down 360 view camera around the vehicle. This car is also equipped with cruise control. Up ahead on the headliner we have a sunroof that opens and tilts up and down. You can also see the Bluetooth microphone between the sunroof controls. We also have dome lights and spot reading lights and a sunglass holder. All rear view mirrors in this car are auto dimming, and the side mirrors are power foldable and power adjustable. And notice that as I shut down the vehicle, the steering wheel retracts to ease entry and exit, and the steering wheel is also power tilt and telescopic. Back to the controls I mentioned at the beginning of the video. We have your headlight washers as well as a key to activate the parking sensors. We also have a button to turn off the side curtain airbags and the usual power mirror controls. Moving on to the second row seats, they are just as nice as you'd expect, and there are 2 entertainment screens on either side of the seat, and the screens do rotate to provide a comfortable viewing position. Up ahead we have your usual reading lights, and in between the 2 front seats we have climate controls for the second row seat occupants, and the second row seats are heated and not cooled but heated, and there are 2 individual climate zones, which means every passenger can have their own temperature, and that makes for 4 climate zones in this car. And below the climate controls we have volume knobs for each entertainment screen as well as a headphone jack. We also have an HDMI port. There's also a 12-volt power outlet in the back, and we have a center armrest with two deployable cup holders, and below the armrest we have a small storage area with a dedicated place for the remote control to control the two entertainment screens. There are also air vents for the second and third row seats. As we move on to the rear of the car, we have the usual backup camera, and we have a two-tier tailgate, and open the upper half to be able to open the lower half. And as you open the trunk area of this car, you'll find an ample storage area and the third row seats that retract to the side of the car. And the reason it does not fold flat in the floor is because there's a differential and a spare tire underneath the vehicle. And with this car you also get a compact first aid kit. The tire changing equipment are stored in small areas on the lower half of the tailgate, and accessing them is really easy. Just turn a few knobs and you're good to go. Let's close the tailgate and move around the car to the passenger side. This car is riding on 285 by 50 R20 wheels. And also, as we come up to the front passenger door, notice that we have smart key access on all four doors on this car, and you have the same illuminated Land Cruiser door seals. The front passenger seats are also power operated, and you have the user's manual that is provided with this car, and a fire extinguisher. Getting in the front passenger seat, we'll see the glove box, a two-tier glove box, and in the glove box we'll see the remote control for the rear entertainment screens. Let's close the glove box and pop the hood real quick and check out the engine bay in this vehicle. And the power plant in this vehicle is a 4.5 liter turbocharged diesel V8 engine, putting out 220 horsepower and 454 pound-feet of torque. That's pretty much it for today's video, guys, and thank you very much for watching. Hope you liked the video, and don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video.